Hope springs among his longtime fans for a return to his classic comedies. You can accomplish that all by yourself by renting one of his early favorites, and one of mine is Love and Death, available on home video. It's a send of many Russian novels. Alan has a leading role in this story of a condemned man in 1812 reviewing his life. Diane Keaton co-stars in this tribute to Tolstoy's War and Peace.
Well, look at you. You look so handsome in your uniform.
Well, I got a perfect build for clothes. I'm a 28 dwarf. And you, Sonia, my God, you look more beautiful standing here than you do in person.
That's very funny stuff to see as you consider whether or not to attend Alice, based on our split reaction. Okay, my chance. I'll give you a reason why Woody Allen's films aren't as popular as, say, Steven Spielberg's. Allen doesn't want them to be. He's making movies for himself, as Spielberg has often said he has done. The difference, though, is in the two men. One is a 50-year-old New York intellectual who reads more than he watches movies or TV, and the other is about a 39-year-old Arizonan and Californian who is a product of thousands of hours in front of a TV set. Spielberg plays to the masses. His eyes come from mass entertainment. Allen plays to the East Side New York crowd. Compare it, if you will, in their action scenes. You all know what a Spielberg action sound and fury scene is like. Look what passes for tumultuous action and say, Woody Allen's underrated Love and Death.
Wow. That looks completely different when you're in the middle of it than it does to the generals up on the hill.
Of course, you don't see Get Your Red Hots in a Spielberg film, and of course there, Allen is making a tribute to the Russian filmmaker Sergei Eisenstein as well. We're talking gags here rather than gasps of excitement with the Spielberg films, and long live the difference. They both have their audiences. Woody Allen may achieve commercial success with Hannah and Her Sisters. I think it's going to be a big hit. But if it doesn't, I don't think it's going to kill him. And certainly, it won't kill his film, which will last forever. Or as he might say, at least for a long time.
Once when I interviewed him, he said that he liked to keep his movies within a certain budget because it gave him the freedom to follow his whims. For example, he made a movie called Zelig, which was a pseudo-documentary. He made a movie called Midsummer Night's Sex Comedy, which I didn't like very much, which was kind of a whimsical little romance. If he gets an idea, he can go with it. He doesn't have to hit the home run every time, and therefore it makes him a very personal and a very free filmmaker to follow his will wherever he wants to go.
Well, then you want to credit some more people in the movie industry? Let's credit the people who produce his films, finance them. Orion Pictures, these are the old guys from United Artists, and these guys have stuck with him. They say, Woody, make your films. We really don't care if they make that much money. I'm sure they'd like him to make a little more. But basically, he's supported by a whole bunch of people. And I forgot one of his production people, Mel Bourne, who does his production design. Woody Allen has a great group around him. Together, they're making the best movies in America. But suddenly, in 1977, he grew up on film and created his Oscar-winning masterpiece, Annie Hall, a film combining tenderness with gags.
Yeah, where's the spider? Is it in the bathroom? Okay.
Hey, don't squish it, and after it's dead, flush it down the toilet, okay? And flush it a couple of times.
Darling, I've been killing spiders since I was 30, okay? Very big spider. Yeah, a lot of trouble. There's two of them.
Two?
Yep. I didn't think it was that big, but it's a major spider. You got a broom or something with a snow
it's
shovel?
at your house. I think I left it there. I'm sorry.
What
are you doing? What are you doing?
Honey, there's a spider in your bathroom the size of a Buick.
A good gag, but isn't their relationship nice? And that's what we're talking about in the development of his career. In 1977, Allen is able to deal with women confidently. Yeah. Here he is on his first date with Diane Keaton and Annie Hall. Listen to how he takes charge.
Hey, listen. Give me a kiss.
Really?
Yeah, why not? Because we're just going to go home later, right? And there's going to be all that tension, you know, we never kissed before, and I'll never know when to make the right move or anything. So we'll kiss now, we'll get it over with, then we'll go eat, okay? We'll digest our food better.
Okay.
Annie Hall shows us Woody Allen at the top of his game. It's a warm, human comedy, rich with laughs and ideas. Maybe that's why it was the first comedy in 38 years to win the Academy Award as Best Picture. It's a most inventive piece of filmmaking.
Okay, so fine. When it won the Oscar, I was happy because I think Annie Hall is a very good picture, too. I loved it.
Annie Hall, which I think is the decade's funniest film, Woody Allen gives us a couple of worlds for sure. The world of New Yorkers who he thinks think too much, and the world of Southern Californians who Woody Allen thinks don't think enough. At the center of the film is an investigation into the nature of love relationships. Must they always be so painful? In Annie Hall, Woody Allen says yes, but he also says the relationships are worth the pain. Some of that pain is evident the very funny but awkward first time Woody Allen meets Diane Keaton after a game of tennis.
Hi. Hi. Hi.
Hi. Oh, hi. Hi.
Well, bye.
You play very well.
Oh, yeah? So do you. Oh, God, what a dumb thing to say, right? I mean, you say it, you play well, and then right away I have to say you play well. Oh, God, Annie. Well, oh, well. La-di-da, la-di-da, la-la, yeah.
You want a lift?
Oh, why? You got a car?
No, I was going to take a cab.
Oh, no, I have a car.
You have a car? So, I don't understand. If you have a car, so then why did you say, do you have a car, like you wanted a lift? Geez, I don't know. I wasn't, I got this VW out there. What a jerk, yeah.
Well, it's very funny, but, you know, Roger, if you think about it, it's sort of sad that people can't talk to each other directly. Annie Hall is Woody Allen's best film of the decade, I think. Sweet, painful, always very funny. You know, I don't want to beat this into the ground, but here's another filmmaker who's created a whole world, a world in which Woody Allen is our guide. He's a little man, not unlike Charlie Chaplin's little man, who's being poked at by society's frauds and who pokes back at them even harder. A very special film.
I like what you said about Chaplin, because in a way that is what Allen is doing. He's making this world in which we know the rules, and the rules all kind of fit this character, his weaknesses, his insecurities, the way he relates to people.
Yes.
And so there are times in the Woody Allen picture where we know the joke just because of the situation, even if it's not explained to us in the dialogue. It's real nice. I'm not sure, though, that Annie Hall is one of the greatest pictures of the 1970s. I actually think that Allen might turn out to be one of the great directors of the 80s. I think he's still growing as a director.
Then we'll have some very good films.
I hope so. One good thing about Woody Allen is that he has developed this great all-purpose comic persona. This character, like Charlie Chaplin or Buster Keaton did, he's basically the skinny, insecure intellectual with the horn-rimmed glasses. He has a tendency to get goofy whenever he's around a pretty girl. Now, you say the Allen character is more secure around women in his later films, but I think the Allen character will probably always be a lot like he is in this scene from Annie Hall. Here he is, it's 3 o'clock in the morning, there's a spider in his former girlfriend's bathroom, and here comes Woody to the rescue.
What, did you go to a rock concert?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, really? Really? How'd you like it? Was it, I mean, was it heavy? Did it achieve total heaviosity, or was it...
It was just great.
Oh, I got a wonderful idea. Why don't you get the guy that took you to the rock concert, we'll call him, and he can come over and kill the spider. You know,
I called you. You want to help me or not, huh?
What is this? Since when do you read a National Review? What are you turning into?
Well, I like to try to get all points of view.
Well, wonderful. Then why don't you get William F. Buckley to kill the spider?
Alvy, you're a little hostile. You know that? Not only that, you look thin and tired.
Well, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. You got me out of bed. I ran over here. I couldn't get a taxi cab. You said it was an emergency. I ran up the stairs. I was a lot more attractive when the evening began. Are you going with a right-wing rock and roll star?
Would you like a glass of chocolate milk?
Hey, what am I, your son? What do you mean? I came over for
I got the good chocolate.
Yeah, where's the spider?
It's in the bathroom.
It in the bathroom? Okay.
Hey, don't squish it, and after it's dead, flush it down the toilet, okay? And flush it a couple of times.
Darling, I've been killing spiders since I was 30, okay? Very big spider.
There he is, Woody Allen, the basic Woody Allen character, courageously able to face any situation and be defeated by it. He has a sort of whistling in the dark bravery there that we can easily identify with, and speaking for myself, when the chips are down and there's a big hairy spider in the bathroom, I'm no more crazy about going in there after it than Woody is. He gives us an all-purpose character there that we can laugh at and love at the same time.
This is one of Woody Allen's greatest scenes. In the beginning of Annie Hall, Woody Allen's character tells us about his childhood. In a very clever and tender moment, he takes us back to his second-grade classroom.
I must say, I always thought my schoolmates were idiots. Sometimes I wonder where my classmates are today.
I'm president of the Pincus Plumbing Company. I used to be a heroin addict. Now I'm a methadone addict. I'm into leather.
Those kids are priceless. It's a very, very creative scene. It's wise and a little bit sad, too, to see a bunch of kids and find out what's happened to them. If Woody Allen hadn't taken risks like he's been doing, he would never have made Annie Hall. That's an inventive piece of filmmaking. He should keep taking big risks.
I'm not so sure I'm crazy about his next two films, Interiors, which was deliberately a very serious drama, but then Manhattan, where you see, once again, this creeping seriousness, this feeling that Woody Allen is beginning to take the issues that he raises quite seriously in terms of human relationships, what he stands for, what he thinks about women, and so forth. That's okay. Maybe it's great in the work of another director, but dare I say there's such a thing as growing too much, growing beyond comedy? I mean, you look at the two great American comic directors, Keaton and Chaplin. Now, Keaton basically remained himself, and he tried to perfect that persona, perfect the kind of movie that he wanted to make, and make it better and better. Chaplin got creeping seriousness. It's almost a disease. In a movie like The Great Dictator, he ends it with a long speech about the state of affairs in the world and so forth that's just deadly dull.
I think that Manhattan is a fine film. It's an attempt, certainly by Allen, to perfect his art in his mind, and he's tackling it on a little harder edge. He doesn't want to make Annie Hall Part 2. He's also dealing with Diane Keaton, who's an actress who doesn't want to repeat herself. You know, these aren't shoddy filmmakers here. Your issue is right, Roger. I just think that you might be flagging Woody Allen a little too early.
Maybe what I'm trying to say is I'm trying to put up a defense of pure comedy. It's good enough in and of itself. A director like Allen doesn't have to do anything else or get more and more serious in order to justify his existence in my book.
Our next picture is completely different. It's Woody Allen's latest film. It's called Interiors. He directed it, but he doesn't star in it. And it's not a comedy. It's dead serious from start to finish. Interiors is about a rich, WASP American family in a great deal of pain. The mother, Geraldine Page, is cracking up after years of stifling her emotions and trying to be a perfect person. The father, E.G. Marshall, has had it with his wife. He wants some fun in his life. He wants a separation. And he announces that decision at the dinner table in front of his wife and two of their three daughters, played by Diane Keaton and Mary Beth Hurt. It's a good scene. Watch how much it resembles a banker holding a board meeting.
I've done a lot of thinking about this matter and a great deal of soul searching. Now that the girls are all on their own, I feel that for my own self, I must come to this decision, though I don't take it lightly. I feel I've been a dedicated husband, a responsible father, and I haven't regretted anything I've been called upon to do. Now, I feel I want to be by myself for a while. So consequently, I've decided to move out of the house. Now, I don't know how I'll feel about it when I finally do it, and it's not irrevocable, but I feel it's something I have to try. As I say, it's not an irrevocable situation. It's a separation. Maybe for the best. It may not. And I wanted to lay it on the table in front of everyone so that everything is open and as direct as possible.
Will you please not breathe so hard? I'll move out.
What does that mean?
I don't want to live in this house anymore.
Eve, think about it.
Move out.
Look, it's not irrevocable. It's a trial separation.
That's pretty powerful stuff, and it sure is a long way from Allen's last picture, the comedy Annie Hall. But almost from start to finish, this picture, Interiors, is an unending portrait of pain. And after a while, I wanted to scream, let me out of here. There's just so much unremitting pain. But then the one mentally healthy character pops into the picture. It's the father's new woman friend, played by Maureen Stapleton, and she brings a little bit of life to the family, a little bit of counterpoint to all the pain. And suddenly then, Interiors turns out to be a fairly memorable movie. So as much as I suffered through the first half of Interiors, Roger, I don't think I'm ever going to forget any of its characters.
Well, I didn't suffer through the first half, and I find it a lot more than fairly memorable. I think it's one of the best American movies of the year. And I think it's a real example of chance-taking on the part of Woody Allen, who, after Annie Hall and his other successes, can make a comedy a year and make money with it. This time, he took a family, he realized them fully on the screen, he saw their pain, he stayed with it.
you're disappointed that the picture's too painful. If you don't want pain, don't go to it. But don't ask Alan, I think, to fall back from the statement he's trying to make.
Yeah, but I don't like the construction of it in this way. We see a bunch of characters, maybe 7 or 8 of them in this family and all their attending relationships, and one after another they trot on and tell us how miserable they are. All I'm saying is stick in somebody a little bit less than miserable earlier on.
Well, one after another they are miserable, and I think one thing Alan does do is play fair with us. By the time the movie's over, we know why. We know something about these people.
I'll agree with you on one thing. I think that he has a fabulous ear for dialogue, and we could see it in that last scene when Geraldine Page says, "It's a very bad time for me." I think we all know that there are moments when we get so nervous that we can't even talk about ourselves except in third person. We're getting so built up, and she's a very bad time for me. I'm narrating my pain, and very good ear for dialogue.
We're together there.
We've talked about how good Woody Allen's pictures are, and so then in that case, why don't more people go to see them? Woody Allen's movies usually make a little money, but they've never made a whole lot of money, like, for example, the movies of a Steven Spielberg or a George Lucas. Everyone thinks Annie Hall was a big hit, but actually it made less money than any other film that ever won the Academy Award for Best Picture. One reason for Woody's uneven box office record, I think, is that he keeps trying to do new things. He does not deliver the same film again and again. For example, he's a big admirer of the great Swedish director Ingmar Bergman, and so he made his own that's a hard one, Bergman-esque film named Interiors that was deep and depressing and the last thing that anyone expected from Woody Allen.
I feel I want to be by myself for a while. So consequently, I've decided to move out of the house.
A rift in a family, the same subject he returns to in Hannah and Her Sisters.
Another very talented filmmaker. There's no one quite like Woody Allen working in American films today. His comedies are about complex urban characters, whereas most comedies are about rubes. Most film comedies involve visual jokes, but Allen's humor grows out of battles within the minds of his characters, people who know themselves better than they know anyone else. And they don't even know themselves very well. Does that sound serious? Well, his new film, Manhattan, is very serious about some funny situations. The film begins as Allen tries out chapter 1 of a book he's trying to write about the city. The film is shot very effectively in black and white. Beautiful photography, even better on the big screen. The movie is about the self-centered troubles of Woody and his intellectual East Side New Yorker friends. One of the problems faced by Allen's character is that his ex-wife, played by Meryl Streep, is writing a book about their failed life together.
Are you writing a book about our marriage?
You leave me alone.
Are you writing something about a breakup? Just tell me.
We've said everything that needs to be said to each other.
Well, I happen to know you are because I have a friend at Random House, okay?
No, I'm free to do as I please.
Yeah, but this affects me.
I'm in a rush.
So you're going to tell everybody everything, right? Our life, our sexual life, all the details,
What do you do?
right?
Do you spy on me?
No, I don't have to spy. I was at a party, and a guy said he read an advanced chapter of a book that my wife was writing, and it was hot stuff. He said it was hot stuff. I spilled wine on my pants.
Well, I don't care to discuss it.
How's Willie?
Fine.
Well, give me some details, Willie. What do you mean fine? I mean, does he play baseball? Does he wear dresses? What?
He doesn't wear dresses. You'll find out all the details when it's your turn to see him.
Hey, don't write this book. It's a humiliating experience.
It's an honest account of our breakup.
Well, it's not all jokes. Far from it, actually. The film has many serious points to make as Woody runs away from an uncomplicated but lovely relationship with a 17-year-old girl to a tortured on-again, off-again affair with a journalist played by Diane Keaton. Now, why do these people seek out all these troubles? Allen says he and his friends create complicated relationships in order to avoid confronting much more complex, depressing, and unsolvable problems. What's special about the movie is that this point is made 2 ways, with Woody Allen's incomparable humor and one-liners spoken by people with very real pain on their faces. Manhattan, I think, is easily one of the finest comedies, as well as one of the finest dramas of the year.
It's a really good movie. It's a pleasure to sit through.
It is, it is.
And one thing that I was observing as I watched it to myself was that Allen has created a comic character. The name of the character is Woody Allen. He's even a comic strip now. It's like Chaplin did that, Buster Keaton did that, W.C. Fields, but they made characters or personas who remain consistent over 20 or 30 years. And what Allen is doing is in every film, the persona changes and develops and gets a little bit deeper. It's fascinating to see what he'll do next. And Manhattan certainly comes right along in a string of very good movies.
It is very good, and he's developing both stylistically, using black and white, using music, and very well. He's a really accomplished filmmaker, one of the treasures in the American cinema.
Another thing he gives us are a lot of shocks of recognition, lines of dialogue where you're laughing at the character, at the same time you're laughing at yourself. You're saying, hey, I say dumb things like that, too.
There's one great line where somebody accuses him of playing God, and he says, well, I had to model myself after someone.
And I like him when he plays everyman as a schlep, but in his recent movies, Allen has begun playing